Hi everybody, this is Joey and I'm coming at you with a repeat lens review. In February of 2021, I purchased this lens. This is the Sony 18-105 f4 lens for the APS-C system. I bought this lens because a long time ago I purchased the Sony Alpha 5100 and that was like my backup camera. And then I switched entirely to the Sony system and I bought a full mount, an A7C. But I liked that Alpha 5100 so much, the color science, and this was like their probably entry-level APS-C. It's old. I think it got retired in like 2015. I think it came out in 2013. But that little camera, I liked it so much that I went all in on Sony. And I used that Alpha 5100 when I travel because I'm mildly afraid of damaging the nicer camera. It got tedious having to carry around a bunch of APS-C lenses, and I didn't buy a ton of the APS-C lenses because that was always my backup camera. So I had quite a few primes, and I've done other videos talking about I probably shouldn't have bought all of those primes, but I had a 16-2.8, I had the 35-1.8, and I think I have the kit lens that came with that, which is a 16-50. I had a couple of lenses for it. It was fine, but I wanted a kind of like a one lens to rule them all situation, so I could just pack the one camera, the one lens, and be on my way. That was my strategy. That was my plan, and this was the one that I bought because this again was always my backup camera, and I didn't want to spend a ton of money. So I bought this used on eBay for like $350, and I have to say, after using it for about a year, I'm not a fan of this lens. It's just not a sharp lens. And I'm gonna provide examples for this. I've also been running into some issues where there's some artifacting. It's doing something crazy with the autofocusing or something, especially on shiny objects in the background. And I'll show it. I'll show it I have multiple pieces of video that I've noticed over the last couple days because I went on a trip and I noticed that something weird was going on with the footage, but on top of that, it just wasn't very sharp. And I've noticed this over the times that I've used this lens and I've taken it out on trips, that it's never super sharp. I end up going with the 35-1.8 if I want the crispy, but the problem with the APS-C lenses is that a 35 is closer to a 50. So that's not a great vlogging camera. That's not a great vlogging length. I'm sad to say that I'm disappointed in this, and not necessarily as a result of this lens. It's just good timing. I recently pre-ordered the Sony a7 IV, and I'm not expected to get that for another month or so, but I'm starting to build the backup kit because what my plan is to take the Sony a7C, which the C stands for compact, I think, make that my travel camera, and then use the a7 IV for my in-house camera. I've had this camera for a year. It's very good. I've invested quite a bit of money in the full-frame lenses, and I have much nicer full-frame lenses. So the plan is to use the full-frame lenses other than the inside of my house. So, yeah, so this is going to get retired. The 5100 is going to get officially retired. The A7C is going to be my backup shooter and my outdoor shooter, and the A7 IV is going to be the indoor shooter. But this is a shame, right? On paper, this thing should be great. Constant aperture of f4, not the best, but my 16-35 full frame Sony f4, that's a wonderfully sharp lens. It's fantastic, actually. I'm like not feeling the need to upgrade to the monstrosity $2,200 16-35 G Master, which is 2.8. I don't feel the need to do that because the f4 is well built and it's a great lens, and it's got image stabilization. Oh, that's the other thing. This lens has OSS. So that was another reason why I bought this one over some other zoom lens options, because it had the stabilization, because the Alpha 5100 does not have any in-body image stabilization. So having the OSS in here was great. Like I said, I've noticed it multiple times. I thought it was just me and my lack of experience. Every time I use this lens, and again, I'll show some footage even going back to last March, it's never sharp. It takes okay pictures, by the way. So it does take nice pictures. It gives you a little bit of bokeh. They're fairly sharp, but the video always struggles with this lens. So again, I'll show some examples, but I did want to do a follow-up because I have some video footage about all of this and I wanted to use it. And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to turn this into a video for you to use. So in general, right, you're going to see a lot of videos on YouTube saying that this is a great lens, and on paper it is, right? It's got the power zoom. It's 18 to 105. That's a really, really good length, especially for the APS-C. Although maybe realistically it should have been a 14. But it's not a sharp lens. It's really lacking sharpness. It's doing some other funky things. And I just updated the firmware on this to see if it fixed anything. And it actually kind of helped, but not enough. So yeah, I don't recommend this one. And I hope that if you have it, you're having a good experience with it. But again, for not being the greatest photographer, this one's not doing it for me. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Take care.